Alright, everything is homework because you're at home, right? Everybody's at home, so everything we're doing is good. Alright. It'd be funnier if somebody was here to laugh with me. Instead, I'm standing in my studio all alone thinking about the next project that I want to do, which happens to be a crayon melting project. If you have the tools to do it, it's awesome. If you don't have the tools to do it, watch the video and you'll have an idea. This is something I've done with third graders for a long time, and you're definitely going to need your parents involved in this one. Some grown-up that can keep an eye on you, make sure that, because we're going to melt crayons, I don't want you to get burned. Let's check out what I'm talking about. Alright, so here's basically how we're going to do this. Let me back up. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to grab our foil and fold it in half. We're going to heat up our griddle, but we're not going to touch it. And we're not going to get so excited that we stop listening to our parents because they're trying to keep you safe right now, so settle down. Okay, we're going to use our griddle. It's heated up right around 200 degrees. We take our foil and we fold it in half. You can cut it in any size you want depending on what it is you're trying to make. Alright, but you can keep these for a very long time. So I'm going to make some flowers just as a demonstration. You can make whatever you want to. I hope you are able to make this. I've seen some videos where they're melting crayons using glue guns. I've seen some where they're melting crayons through the glue gun. Maybe they squeeze it out of the glue gun. That will ruin the glue gun, so be careful doing that. I've seen some where they're taking the crayons and they're melting them with the end of like a wood burner, which is very hot too. And obviously it has to get hot enough, whatever it is, it's got to get hot enough to melt that crayon. I've also seen some crayon melting videos out there where they're using a blow dryer, a hair dryer, or a heat gun to melt the crayons, and the crayons kind of drip. In all of these methods, there's a lot of ways that you can't control what happens to the crayon. This one is a little easier to control, and you can actually paint with the crayons in this way. So I have my paper. I lay the paper on the griddle, all right? And maybe one of the best things you could do is get like an oven mitt to kind of move the paper around, all right? I'm touching it. I'm not saying it's the best idea, but with your parents' help, check it out. I just don't want them to have my neck for showing you something that could be kind of dangerous. So let me show you. All right. So right now my griddle is a little less than 200 degrees. If you're working on a real griddle, it's going to be impossible probably to figure out what the temperature is, but warm should be good enough. These crayons melt right around 100 and 110 degrees, and that's how the crayon manufacturers make them so they can work with them. If you've ever kept a box of crayons in maybe an attic or found an attic that had some crayons or even candles in, you might find out that they got so hot in the attic that they melted. Same thing will happen to these crayons here. So, all right, over the last few years I've been doing this, and I've learned a couple tricks or a couple little techniques to make my life simpler and safer. Remember, I'm trying to make sure you have fun, but be safe. You can see I put some painter's tape around my thumb and finger so that it's a little easier for me to move. I don't get burned this way. I'm not saying the tape doesn't get hot. I'm just saying that I'm not getting burned. And man, let's give this a try. So the first thing I might do is grab some of my colors that I like. And here's a cheap set that I got a hold of. All right, I'm just going to grab some colors out of this. But remember, this is painting. All right, we're painting. So we have our crayons. Well, what does it do? The crayon will actually melt and the wax will bond well enough to the metal surface that it won't come off. If the crayon gets too thick, it will crack, and then you can actually remove it altogether. So we try and not put it on too thick, all right? What can I draw here? I'm just going to draw a few little waves. And you can see just how quickly that crayon melts right there. I guess we need to let you practice it and see how you like how it looks. All right? I'll take that color, blue, and get a darker blue. Maybe, oh, this one's a purple. All right? And then I can blend these together. And it's very smooth. It's going to be very smooth. Here's a pink. All right? When you put the pink on, it's going to blend. Remember, these are wax pieces. All right? So they melt. If I hold it still over the metal long enough, I'll just get a big puddle of pink start to form. All right, I don't know what to do with that here. I make a flower out of it. Make a stem. All right, make some little flower petals. Here's some water, some grass. I don't know. I'm making it up. All right. Pretty simple though. All right. This is crayon drawing on aluminum foil. Remember, my fingers aren't just going to hold down on the metal. All right, just moved these from the griddle to the table, and by the time I got from the griddle over here, this paper is already safe to touch. The wax is bonded to the metal. The aluminum foil is still bendable, but it's not so thick that I can chip it off. All right. You could take a pencil and you can kind of scribble out any little designs that you want to. If you want to draw a picture on top of this, just be careful you don't go through the aluminum foil and ruin your awesome work. Very simple process, very easy to do, a little risky, so be careful and mind your fingers, and make sure you're using crayons that are old enough that it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings, because there won't be much crayon left over at the end. I love this process. This is Crayon Melting 101 with Mr. Darby. I hope you are having fun along with me. Guys, keep practicing, and I'll see you soon.